Hi everyone, happy Thursday. So I've been thinking a lot because of some conversations that I've had with people recently about the fact that we're probably maybe only a couple weeks away, maybe sooner, from when we're going to start seeing, gym memberships going on sale and lots of things around New Year's resolutions and getting in shape, losing that weight that you've been trying to lose for years, or whatever the angle is. And I started thinking about how so many people, including myself up until recently, have ideas in their head of what they think they should be doing or should look like in terms of like weight and fitness and just all sorts of things. Because of course, the media tells us that we should all be doing certain things, eating certain ways, exercising at a certain frequency, and the media is just not helpful, right, in that respect. And so I was thinking about how we have a lot of shoulds and where those things might come from. So we might have some shoulds based on, I don't know, maybe things we learned growing up. Obviously, people in our lives can have a really big influence on us in terms of potentially putting shoulds in our minds, right? About what maybe that person thinks we should be doing or looking like or whatever. And those things are really hard to let go of unless obviously we're aware of them to begin with. And so I just started thinking about how important it is for us to be able to figure out what the best version of ourselves looks like based on our unique definition of what that is. Because I think a lot of us are carrying around a definition of the best version of ourselves that we didn't even come up with, And so, yeah, I just think that that's like a really powerful thing to think about, because I think one of the biggest reasons why people aren't able to achieve goals that they set for themselves, particularly with health and wellness, which is really everything, right? Like everything has to do with your wellness, not just your physical health, your emotional health, your relationships, your mental health, like it's all connected, right? But like those shoulds get in the way of us being able to achieve goals that we set for ourselves, because the goals are probably based on something that isn't even like ours, I mean, I speak from experience when I think about, that's been a while now, over 10 years-ish, since I did this crazy women's boot camp, and I was running half marathons, and I'm glad I did it. But I had an image in my head that definitely did not come from me of what I thought I should look like, what I thought I should be able to do, like physically, in terms of exercise and endurance and different things, that in hindsight was not my thing. It wasn't something I came up with. I had goals based on body fat percentage and how long it would take me to run a mile and all these different things that really did not come from me. And so in the end, you know, it wasn't something I stuck with. I did it for a few years. But the motivation behind things like that, for an example, just as an example, and the energy that you need to sustain that motivation needs to come from the fact that that goal or that idea you have in your head of the best version of you is authentically and truly yours. Because otherwise it's not sustainable. And so I think that applies to so many different things where people will talk to me about, you know, I have a hard time sticking to, you know, goals that I have for myself. And when I start talking to them and asking questions about, like, let's start from the very beginning, like, where did that goal or that idea of the goal and what that looks like come from? And so many times people will end up realizing that it wasn't their goal in the first place. It's not even something they really truly desire, something that they really feel is in alignment with who they are, right? So the whole boot camp and half marathons and all that stuff I was doing, in hindsight, like, that is so not in alignment with who I am. First of all, like, I knew some things about my physical, I don't want to call them limitations. Let's just say physical structure, the way my body is built, okay? Let's just call it that. That would not lend itself to running half marathons. But I did it. And I suffered the consequences. I had to have 2 foot surgeries 3 years ago, right? I knew this about myself. I knew. I was like, you know, these are things you know about your body, right? But I did it anyway. So my whole point really is just that getting to the point of understanding, like, where your goals or your ideas of your best version of yourself have come from is really important, because once you can figure out what that best version of you looks like, that is defined by you and you only, and truly comes from your authentic desires for yourself, and it's aligned with who you are, it's consistent with everything about you, then you are going to be so much more successful. You can sustain things that have alignment with who you are. Good luck if you are trying to sustain something that is not authentically yours. So yeah, that is one of the biggest reasons why I am really enjoying health and wellness coaching, because it just comes up so much that people are striving for things and they're struggling so much. But they're striving for things and struggling because these things aren't really things that they want. They think they want them, but when we dig into it, we learn that, yeah, no, they're not really that important to me, but this is just what I was taught, or this is what, you know, I think my partner wants, or there's so many different versions of it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with everybody. So when you think about your New Year's resolutions, if you choose to do them, you know, be really clear that this is something that you really want for yourself, and like dig into that thing and figure out if it really is yours or if it came from somewhere else. So have a great day, everyone.